Hello again, and welcome back. Following on from that previous video, having installed that new display, I discovered, of course, that I couldn't turn my headlight on anymore because it must do a data command to the control box down there in the later models of the bike. On the previous display had two wires coming out which went straight to the light, so I've got no headlight. But the plan is to fit a normal rocker switch up here on this plastic box because there is plenty of room inside. There's lots of wires that come in at the bottom and a control box which is fairly small, so plenty of space. And let's have a look at the switches I ordered. I think I made a slight error. That is not one I ordered, but it is too big. I found that in my junk. It's a bit big, I think. I can get one of these out. As usual, I rushed ahead when ordering, didn't check the sizes, so I've got a tiny little switch. Not necessarily a problem, and I think I will use this switch, but I think it would have been nicer to have one a little bit bigger, and that will be located there. Then I can reach down quite easily and turn the lights on, headlight anyway. For some strange reason they don't give you a backlight with this bike. That would have been even more useful than a front light, but I've got my own light on the back anyway, which I bought. So today, or maybe tomorrow, I don't know, I'm going to have to go ahead and do this. That involves taking this box off and then cutting a hole in the top, put the switch in. And I decided to wire it straight to the battery, where the battery wires come in. I think I'm fairly careful. I can avoid the whole thing bursting into flames if the wires got shorted out. More likely the wires would just burn out, but that won't happen because I know what I'm doing. I think I do anyway. And of course I take the battery off when I'm working on the installation. What else was I going to say? The audio. I was so unhappy with the audio I have had with a tie clip microphone that I bought a wireless mic, and here it is. It's fairly small and it just clips on to clothing. It also has a small little fluffy thing reminiscent of a tiny dead cat, which you can clip on if you're outside with wind noise. So I very much appreciate any comments on the audio. So I still haven't quite got to grips with all the different levels that I can select on this device. And the receiver is the same, exactly the same size as that, and I've clipped it onto the hand strap on the camera. So that's quite good, and it didn't cost a hell of a lot. I think, oh, you can see it flashing green on a peak. I think it cost £53. I got a discount off it, 15% off. And the YouTube videos I watched on this thing called Sonic Cake, or Sonic Cake. Silly names they have, but never mind. The YouTube videos seem very positive and the audio seemed good, but we shall see. So I think the first job, get the battery off. I'm not going to be doing any work with it with the battery on it, and remove this box in the garage because it's going to be fairly lacking in space once I get it in my workshop. So I'll get on and do that, but I won't film it because it's too difficult. So this is what you get when you take the plastic box apart. A hideous load of wires, and those on that connector there, they're the ones from the old display that would have powered the headlight. So I'm going to cut those off because I don't need that flapping around. But my plan to put the switch up here is not going to happen because it will hit this pillar. If you can see that pillar. So the switch will have to go on the side instead. That's not a problem. I can go quite happily on there. And there's still plenty of space to get everything in. So now I've got to get the damn thing in the workshop. I think I'll tape all these up while I'm moving it to the frame. So the bike does just about go in, and I've still got room to move around. This is one hideous mess I've got to deal with, taped up to the frame at the moment. And at the moment I've got connected to the headlight wires, which are red and black. I'm running them on 31 volts and it's drawing 100 milliamps. And as you can see, the headlight is illuminating, but I guess I better test it because on a high voltage, because when the battery is fully charged it's up at 42 volts, so I need to add on another 11 volts from the other power supply on the other side. Let me just rig that up. So as you can see down here, I've cobbled together two sets of power supply cables to get 42 volts, and it's very interesting what you see. When I was drawing 100 milliamps before at 31, now I've added on another 11, I'm only drawing 78 milliamps on both supplies. So the circuitry inside the headlight is doing a very efficient job of compensating for the different voltages you get. But how do you work that one out? That's 78 milliamps times 42. Let me do a quick calculation. So that's what you get. 42 volts times 0.78 milliamps, 3.2 watts. That's more or less what you'd expect. You can see how bright it is shining on the cupboard door. So now I've got to get all this power supply rubbish disconnected, and because we know it works, fit the switch in the box and wire it up basically, and try and cram all this mess back in. So all the paint's coming off there, not ideal, but probably not that important. So yes, turn it all off, get rid of this nonsense. It's dodgy that all this is. 42 volts can, although it's not massively high, it's more than you like floating around. So a little bit of drilling, a little bit of filing, and the switch is fine. Not the nicest switch in the world, but it works and it won't get used very much, so it'll be fine. Just got to get some wires on it now, red wires I think, with lots of, well, a decent amount of heat shrink to stop anything shorting out on that. And then Oh yeah, I think it would be very wise to have an internal fuse, as I'm running it straight off the battery supply. So that's going to get soldered on to the wire and heat shrinked at some point. So let me go ahead and do something useful. Wires on there first. So this is what I've done. Too difficult to film when I'm doing it. There's the switch. Where's the switch? Over there. And as you can see, everything fits in fine. There's no danger of the controller box shorting out to the switch or anything. Once it's all crammed in here, it doesn't move around. Anyway, decided to take the power for the light straight off the bullet connectors for the battery. There's the battery connector cable. Comes straight from the battery. The positive goes out to the switch, comes back through a fuse, heat shrink fuse. Was a bit dodgy soldering on fuses because the filaments can just melt and the ends come off sometimes because of the pressure you create with the heat. But it's good enough for glass slinger, so it's good enough for me. So that is wired up like that, and then you've got the negative. This is a light wire. The light wire. Negative also goes into a bullet connector, and that was fairly simple apart from dealing with all this hideous mess of wires that I've somehow got to cram in there when I put the rest of the box together. So I suppose I would have tested really. Switch is down there. There we are, we have light. Let there be light, and there was light. Now, I've only taken this box apart a couple of times probably, and already the pillars are broken. So the last time, pillars are just broken off, so the screws don't work anymore, the original screws. So I think it may be to do with the cold and the heat cycling, don't know. I had to drill down and lower and use wood screws, and that seems to work. Hopefully I'll never have to take it apart again. Anyway, let's get it screwed back together. So back in the garage, boxes back on, tie wraps back on down here, zip tie as our Americans like to call them, just clamping all the wires together. Looks like it might have been there originally, but I think it'll be fine with that where it is now. Oh, I suppose I better put the battery on it. Oh dear, where's the battery gone? Where's the battery gone? So the battery's on. No explosions. Ah, we have some light. Oh, that is blindingly bright. But it works, that's the main thing. I mean, not the most elegant solution, but it works. That's all I needed to do. I suppose I better check the bike still works. Oh, it's just trying to escape now. Stay still. Right. Oh good, it still works, I think. Let's try the... Yes, it wants to take off. Oh well, I'm kind of glad that's over. And it wasn't a major thing to do, but all them wires in that box, I never want to go in there again if I can help it. I just hope I don't ever have to go in there again. So, it's now getting extremely hot. Too hot for riding at the moment, I think. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.